What's up in there, how are you doing? Oh, waiting 6 minutes. Let's go. So close. We got to the main. Whoa. Wait, where am I not? Oh. Whoa. Ah, there we go. Let me move my head a bit. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Let me move to the middle for now. Don't please does. Does but nerf what? We are the second worst. Ah, does not. All right, that's better. Let me prep the YouTube chat as well. I'm actually using a stream element now to multi-stream. So hopefully I can get the YouTube chat on my OBS as well. Jinx that, yeah. Well, we know who to blame, you know? We know who to blame now. Alright. What the hell? That looked weird. They did release some, where is it? Let me actually... Can I pull that over to this window? I did see they released. Where is it? Let me get the link. Okay, that's not the one. I don't want the trailer. I want the link here. Oh. Where's the stream? There we go. Awesome. There we go. They did do add like this thing here. I have not watched the trailer yet, but the trailer is gonna be at the stream, at the beginning of the stream, if it happens like always, so I'll wait for it there. This is not the full patch notes, I believe. That being said, where is it? That's not it. They did announce here that, okay, there we go. Apparently Ramaladnis is gonna be a Chaos armor now. I'm not sure how good that is gonna be. Am I blocking it actually? Give me a second. Ah. Not really. I'm not sure how that is gonna work, because you need to wield it. So it's either gonna, it might be broken the first, like in the first few days. I would not be surprised if it's broken, but we'll see. That's the only thing here. Everything else we're probably gonna get actual patch notes after the stream ends, hopefully, and we'll check those out as well. Alright. Give me a sec, I need to pull this over to my main screen. Let's go. Oh, 2 minutes. I hope they do buff some, like, general barbarian stuff and nerf Mighty Throw a bit. Because Mighty Throw right now is our only build that can do 120 and is not that fun. Everything else on Barb is stuck at like 105, with some exceptions being able to do 110. Oh yeah, wait. In the background, that's a barbarian using Dust Devils. That might be something. Like back here. Look, that's two Dust Devils and Barbarian in the middle. That being said, the Barbarian is dual wielding axes, which you would never do, so who's to say? Wait, is that a fox? Wait. Loki. Did Loki? New pet? I would do that. I would pay up for this, I'm not gonna lie. I love foxes, dude. Like a fiery fox or something. With a bit of bone stuff. I don't know. Looks cool. Yeah, the 12-second thing is a bit, like, just weird. Especially, like, for Pit, it's decent enough. But if you're playing general content, it just sucks, right? You don't want to stand there for 12 seconds. Buffing is good. But, yeah. Especially now, since you can one-shot all bosses, technically speaking. You start the Diablo when World in D was insane. Yeah, it's really fun, Dust Devils. Like, Earthquakes are still strong. Dust Devils are gonna be strong enough next season. They're not gonna be super strong, but they're gonna be strong enough. You probably will be able to play a build that's using it to just FK farm next season, which is gonna be interesting. Oh. Let me go to the corner now, so we can watch. So this is the trailer, I'm assuming.
Hello, Diablo 4 community. Welcome to another Diablo 4 developer update. My name is Adam Fletcher. I am the director of community here for all things Diablo. Of course, I have a wonderful panel next to me that I want to introduce. We have two familiar faces and one new face. And so, we'll jump right to it. Our new face first.
Thanks, brother. I'm Ben Fletcher. I'm the lead designer for Season 10.
I'm Aislinn Hall. I'm a systems designer. I mostly work on seasons, and I specifically worked on Chaos Armor for Season 10.
Hi, I'm Charles Dunn. I'm a class designer. I worked on the Chaos perks a lot, and also the class updates for the season.
I just want to note.
I have them on Mac, by the way.
Two. We grow stronger. In the past, we've always had multiple Adams. Now we have two Fletchers. Fun fact, though, there's another Fletcher on Team 3, on Diablo. And one day we're going to have all three of us on a stream, and we're just going to be incredibly powerful.
Be unstoppable.
It's going to be unstoppable. But anyways, so we haven't actually talked in a while. We haven't had a stream in a little bit. We actually did have a little bit of a pause. We were going into a new cadence where we're going to do these streams now at the start of the season. And then our PTRs are going to be focused more around like the notes, the blog, and then of course the Sanctuary sit down that happens across Discord. But we're back. We have a little bit of a new format. We'll jump into it in a quick second, but I do want to note that we do actually have a Twitch drop that is active right now on the channel. So if you're watching on twitch.tv/Diablo, or if you're watching on any co-streaming partner or anyone who's streaming Diablo 4 at this very second for the next 30 minutes, or if you watch for 30 minutes, you will actually unlock the bow. For the next couple hours, this will be available for people to actually jump in and obtain. So it's a way of getting some additional gear. Plus, we'll have more drops that we'll be talking about here in a second.
The sticker he has on this PC.
We do want to talk really quickly about this new format. As I mentioned, we did take a little bit of a pause to kind of rejigger some stuff behind the scenes. And we know we got a lot of feedback from the community talking about how sometimes, we can get in a little bit of our own napkin math. We talk a little bit, we get into the weeds, and it comes across as a little hard to understand on some of the features that are coming in the season. So we actually have a little bit of a pre-recorded video here that Ben and Charles narrate, and they're going to talk a little bit more about Season 10 and all the class items that are related to Season 10. So let's take it away and check out Season 10.
Oh, there we go. That's
without meaning, wanderer. It is chaos.
All right,
I'm
that's
Ben
sick.
Fletcher, lead seasons designer, and I'm excited to share some details about the new season with you.
The fox, dude. The fox.
The Infernal Hordes are hotter than ever because we're dialing up the intensity on this mode. We've done a significant rework of the Infernal offerings presented between each wave. Our goal is to try and make all of them feel like valid choices for you to build your run on. We've updated the balance of offerings, offering effects, introduced new challenges with the Fel Council, and
What's up, Garland? How you doing?
A new family of chaos monsters.
Not gonna lie, I was not
Infernal
a big
Hordes,
fan of
you'll
the new
occasionally be
horde.
presented with a chaos offering as a fourth option, which will activate a chaos wave. The more waves a compass has, the more Chaos offerings you'll see during your run. Chaos Waves will have many different combinations to discover and master. Dodge
Is that me?
deadly projectiles from Chaos Rifts,
Okay,
slay
that was not me.
rampaging hellworms, or defend an etheric mass from being destroyed. Chaos awaits.
Honestly, the perks there,
Rather than
they were not the
facing
biggest
off
thing in
against the Fel
PTR.
Council, you can choose to risk your hard-earned ether and throw down against the insidious, reborn Bartok to complete your Infernal Horde's run. It's worth the risk because slaying Bartok will reward you with Chaos Armor. Chaos Armor is a more powerful version of existing unique items that come with a diabolical twist. They always fill a different item slot than the original version, leading to entirely new ways of dispensing carnage. Chaos Armor can appear for helm, chest,
Although this is not me, it's actually dash stream lagging, because like whenever it restarts again, it just starts at the same point. You can actually... Or is it me? No, it's not, it's starting on the same point,
pants,
see?
and boots. Chaos Armor's unique powers are also more potent.
What is happening here? Is it me? Let me check. Oh. Overwatch started an update, it might have been me. It is capped,
than
so
their
it
normal
shouldn't have been it,
counterpart.
but...
They always roll. For release, there will be a list of generic Chaos Armor available to all classes, as well as class-specific pieces for players to choose from. Chaos Rifts are one-way portals from hell that spew demons and environmental hazards into the world. Seal them to stop
I actually
the demon
didn't try these
infestation
things
and
out
earn
in the
seasonal
overworld, didn't have
reputation and
time.
currency. They also feature a variety of other rewards.
This is probably gonna be
bonus
super
XP,
sick to level on
gems,
Helltides.
and
You
even
level on
Chaos
Helltides
Armor
and
in
proc
tournament
this thing?
difficulties. You'll find Chaos Rifts and Helltides throughout Sanctuary. Closing these rifts will sometimes award you a Nightmare Dungeon sigil with the Chaos Rift affix. These Nightmare Dungeons are packed with Chaos Rifts and Chaos Monsters for you to destroy, and you may even come across a Fleeting Compass. Fleeting Compasses activate a new pre-torment version of Infernal Hordes called Fleeting Hordes that adds some spice to your character leveling journey. Fleeting Hordes, you'll slay your way through 4 offering waves and face off against 2 members of the Fel Council for a big boost of experience.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think we're gonna be using these things much. But
Chaos
who
perks
knows?
change how your skills function and enable you to create devastating
Hey,
combinations.
we're win! Let's go!
Chaos perks come in rarities of magic, rare, legendary, and unique. You'll be able to equip 1 unique perk along with 3 more of any other type. Each class has access to 16 perks, 4 of each rarity and 4 class-specific perks. Now for our class updates.
Charles Dunn here. I'm a class designer here to showcase some exciting updates in the season of Infernal Chaos. Necromancers will have access to one of the most crazy and transformational Chaos perks, Alter the Balance, which swaps the role of your core and ultimate skills. Your core skills will now have long cooldowns, but massively increased effectiveness, and your ultimate skills will only
I don't know
have
if you
an
can
essence
even
cost
get
and no
chaos
cooldown, but with a
items
modified
in that
weaker
difficulty.
effect.
Might
There
just
are
be a
ton
torment
of new
thing.
build possibilities with this Chaos perk. Also, if you are ever unlucky enough to die, all of your minions will be resummoned whenever you resurrect from death. No longer will you have to spend a bunch of time finding corpses to resummon your army, you can get right back into the fray.
I don't play Necro, but that's good. That's a good quality of life.
Necromancer's new unique item is a Focus, Gospel of the Devotee, which directly enhances your basic skills functionality and also makes them even more powerful when combined together. Be sure to pair this with bonuses to your basic skills like Aspect of Adaptability and Pain Gorger's Gauntlets to wreak havoc on the demons of Sanctuary. Rogue's Dance of Knives has previously struggled with priority damage. When an enemy champion monster showed up, it was tough to focus them down. But now, Dance of Knives will prefer to target enemy champions, elites, and bosses, giving you better priority single target damage. Penetrating Shot has also received some sizable buffs, including higher base damage and a higher multiplier on its unique bow, Eaglehorn.
I'm actually surprised they haven't
But
started
if you'd
with
like
our.
to
This is
try
the
out a
first time
slightly
they don't
different
start
playstyle, swap out Eaglehorn
with
for the
Barbarian,
new unique
the
crossbow,
alphabetical order.
Orphan Maker. Orphan Maker introduces a new keyword, Reload, which causes a skill to be unusable for a short period of time after casting. But in exchange, it gains increased damage and reload time based on your attack.
Someone is copying crossbows from
If you manage to find a
PoE.
Chaos Armor version of Orphan Maker, you can even combine
This is
this effect
crossbows
with
from
Eaglehorn.
PoE. They're saying the best for last, yeah. Hopefully.
For the Sorceress, Charged Bolts has been supercharged this season. Aspect of the Charged Flash
I do like
has
the
been
intro of
reworked to cause
the
Charged
characters
Bolts
though.
to
The
spend your
classes.
crackling energy
Look at the
charges
fox,
for
dude! Look
even
at the
more
fox!
damage.
I don't care about the Sark, look at the
Aspect
fox!
of Piercing Static
Look
now
at it.
causes your
I
Charged
need
Bolts to
it.
spawn even more Charged Bolts to flood the screen with electricity. The new unique ring, Galvanic Azurite, pairs perfectly with these updates. Lightning damage will magnetize enemies and cause them to be pulled together by your crackling energy. Sorceress has one of the most interesting chaos perks this season, Mana Shield. This effect essentially turns your mana into
Dude,
your life.
I want to see what
and
they
gives
say
you
about the
plenty of extra
Barbarian one.
mana
The
to work
Barbarian
with.
one is actually
And if you need to
garbage.
quickly
I'm not
heal
kidding,
up,
it's actually
avoiding
super
damage
bad.
for a few
I
seconds
want to
will
see what they
rapidly
say about
replenish
it.
your mana pool.
You're like, oh, super strong Barbarian power. That's why they're giving
While
it
this
for
is
less.
the season of Infernal Chaos, Druid's Tornado will be a little bit less chaotic. Tornado now always seeks enemies who are close to where you cast it, and then it spirals in an area nearby. Storm Chaser's aspect has been reworked.
Hopefully the
to
Dust
allow
Devils got
Tornado to
this
drag
work as well.
enemies
That would be
along with
cool.
it, further increasing its damage and consistency.
That's good quality of life.
Druid's new unique pants, Kilt of Blackwing, lets a Raven's build take flight. By shapeshifting or casting companion skills, you will spawn additional Ravens to peck at your enemies, and occasionally summon a full Unkindness, massively increasing your flock. Be sure to try out the Chaos perk, Wild Transformations, which uses defensive skills and grants a bonus while shapeshifting. This synergizes extremely well with Flesh Render to apply constant damage to nearby enemies.
Alright.
Barbarian's Walking Arsenal key passive has been slightly reworked and now grants Unstoppable and even more attack speed when keeping up all 3 weapon bonuses. If you don't
it's
like
better.
playing with all those weapons, try out the Chaos perk,
Oh, no.
Single-Minded Fury.
This is a
This
joke,
gives
by the way.
multiple massive bonuses, such as the never-before-seen Overpower Chance. But you can only get these bonuses if you commit to only wielding a single arsenal weapon type.
It's not wielding, by the way, it's
One-handed unique
equipped.
sword, Saber of Tasagal.
As you can see,
increases
he
your
was only
damage
using
for
2
each
swords
damaging
there.
skill you have equipped.
He didn't have anything
This
in his back.
excludes buffing or
That's
defensive
the
skills
problem.
like Shouts, Wrath of the Berserker, and Iron Skin. But by combining your offensive
It doesn't
skills,
work with
you can
Call
buff
of the
up your
Ancients
damage
either.
all the same.
Okay, that
Spirit Horn
perk is a
ultimate skills
bait,
have all been
alright?
buffed.
You lose
The
2
Hunter
two-handed
now gives a
weapons
one-time
worth of
chance for
stats and
enemies to execute
aspects.
them, even if they are at full health.
Unless
And
that's
the
like a
Seeker can now
1000, you'll
refund
never
charges
consider
against
it.
Elites and bosses. The Devourer gains increased scaling damage, while the Protector's upgrades have been streamlined and improved. Speaking of the Protector, the new unique gloves, Hesha Ikasungi, alters the Protector's targeting to let you cast it at range, and it will pull in enemies with each hit. Dedicated guerrilla builds will be ready to smash with this new power. The Chaos perk Combined Strikes is extremely potent, essentially doubling the
Yeah,
output
this is the
of
first
your core
one that's
skills,
not the
but it adds a
legendary
long cooldown.
one.
You can get around this cooldown though by combining your core skills with your basic skills' 3rd hit. These are just a few of the exciting updates coming in the season of Infernal Chaos.
I will deliver humanity from the natural order. I will be sanctuaries ruin.
There we go. Quick recap of everything that's coming in season of Infernal Chaos, which is our 10th season for Diablo 4. Huge thanks to, of course, Ben and Charles for recording all that stuff. beforehand, but there's more stuff on there on top of what you guys actually saw that we do want to go through. A lot of things from PTR that and a lot of learning, some quality of life stuff as well.
All right.
So let's just
I love
jump
to hear
right
that they
into it.
improve
I
quality of
know,
life.
one big thing that everyone has been always talking about has been like whispers and what we can do to improve on that. So Aislinn, I know you had
More ravens?
a change you wanted to talk about with whispers coming with season 10.
More ravens?
Yeah, absolutely. So a feature people have been asking for is when you look at your Nightmare Dungeon sigils.
Oh yeah,
if
this
there's
one.
a
This was
whisper
big.
affiliated with that dungeon, it would actually
Finally,
show you
right?
on
You've
the
been
Nightmare
asking
Dungeon
this for
widget itself.
ages.
And we have that now in season 10, so you will be able to much more efficiently plan your path for all the different Nightmare Dungeons you're going to be playing through.
We have the technology.
Finally.
We have the technology. Yeah, it should help a whole lot. Will make things way more efficient, especially when you're seeing a full inventory of different keys.
Yeah.
You'll be able to know exactly which ones have whispers associated to them, which is really good to see. Another
The
big
quality
change
of
that is
life
also
literally
coming
makes
with,
or breaks the game.
The PTR learnings and everything.
I'm
that
not
we've
even
seen,
kidding.
It has to do with Chaos Rift. So Ben, I know you wanted to chat a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have a couple changes coming from Chaos Rifts after the PTR. The first one is, we saw that the wave attack that comes out of those is pretty powerful. A lot of people getting wrecked by those. I'm people. I got wrecked by those.
Pretty strong, yeah.
Because, they already did a lot
Oh yeah,
of damage.
that thing
and
was
they had a
one-shotting
stacking debuff that
on,
makes you just take even
like,
more damage over
geez,
time.
that
So
was
we've
doing so
chilled
much
those out a
damage.
bit. There's no longer a stacking debuff,
That's
and
true.
we reduced the damage a little bit on those, so it won't be quite so hard to deal with, especially for low-level characters.
You're not taking damage and
The
then you
next
just get
change
one
is
shot, by
for
the
Chaos
way.
Rifts that you encounter in Nightmare Dungeons, we've juiced the rewards a little bit more on those to make the activity more rewarding.
Nice.
Perfect.
More rewarding, less punishing. We saw a lot of people die to those waves during PTR. A lot of comments related to those. So happy to see the changes there. I know, of course, with Infernal Hordes and that being a major focus in this specific season, there's been a lot of changes in regards to the balance on those. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about Infernal Hordes and the changes coming with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we decided to take a pretty big pass on Infernal Hordes after PTR. We got a bunch of wonderful data and fantastic feedback.
Good.
And so that
That-
really spurred
that
us
needs
to
a lot of
dive
work.
deep. So thank you very much for that. I'm not going to go into all the details of the changes we made. You can check out the patch notes if you want to read it line by line. But I do want to go over 4 points regarding like overarching stuff we did for Infernal Hordes. So the first is that we adjusted base ether gains from ether events. So before, you would get a lot of your ether from your offering choices. So whatever build you constructed would be the vast majority of where your ether was actually coming from. We wanted to make it more so it was a bit more equally balanced between the amount you were blasting through ether events, and your offering choices in the build that you construct. And then secondly, we focused on Chaos Waves. So we actually had more Chaos Waves in PTR because we wanted people to check it out and just get in and do as much as possible. We ended up toning down the number of Chaos Waves that actually spawn in each Infernal Horde key because it was kind of overpowering the buildcraft element of the Infernal Hordes. Now you're going to find less Chaos Waves, but each Chaos Wave is going to be, it's going to be a very lucrative amount of ether that you're going to gain from it, so they're going to be worthwhile to do, especially the Ether Goblins event. That one is really, really powerful. We
Unless
also
you're a melee.
just kind of did a generic pass on everything. We audited all the different offerings. We
That's good.
tuned,
Like,
a bunch of the different
that was
numbers
one of the
everything.
major
We made
criticisms
sure
in the
that the
PTR.
legendary and the rare offerings were really worthwhile.
Like, those
to pick.
hordes were really not worth
And
to
then finally,
do.
we had a specific focus on Soul Spires. So we know that Soul Spires haven't been the most
Yes.
popular choice
Please.
since Season 5. And we made sure that the base ether upgrades to Soul Spires are going to definitely be really powerful, especially because there's some multiplicative offerings for Soul Spires.
That is not the problem,
so multiplying
though.
higher number is really good. Number go up. And we also did a couple of reworks on some of the Soul Spire offerings, and they should be a lot more powerful now. So
People
please
don't
show us
like
how
to-
much
you
of a
have to
terrible
stand
mistake we
inside
made,
the thing.
and we hope you enjoy Infernal Hordes in Season 10.
There we go.
I hope one of the
Big
modifiers
changes
is it
coming from
expands the
Infernal Hordes.
range.
It's funny that you mentioned Soul Spires because I know myself and many others would just completely skip Soul Spires when it was an option for offerings. And also, fun fact, Aether is actually Ether.
Yes.
We struggled with this before this season because we were all, either recording videos or doing little pieces or talking about it beforehand, and then we learned that canon in Diablo 4, despite it being spelled A-E-T-H-E-R, it's actually pronounced Ether, thanks to who said it that first time when we came out with the season of Infernal Hordes, and since then, it's canon. We can't change it. We
the
can't
lore
change
is
it.
the A is silent.
Exactly. Other big changes from PTR, I know everyone got to experience like the class perks and of course the Chaos Armor within PTR, and then there was a ton of feedback that came in from that.
Oh yeah.
So Charles, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Obviously one of the big drivers of this season was the Chaos perks and Chaos Armor. We really wanted to encourage a lot of build crafting, where you like reevaluate how you want to set up your character, what legendaries and skills to use, and how it all works together. Much more so than in previous seasons, where some of the past seasonal powers were a bit more of an extra layer on top of your build. These seasonal mechanics, the Chaos perks and armor, really worked to change your build at a fundamental level. We got a lot of great notes on every class, about builds that were working, builds that weren't, things that were a little too strong, a little too weak, because there's just so many interactions with all of these different Chaos Armor and Chaos perks together. I think in broad strokes, we saw that some of the Chaos perks, some of the more generic ones, were a little bit strong. They were kind of crowding out some of the more class-specific options. That's also a new thing that we've been doing this season with class-specific seasonal powers to really allow us to make more customized things for every individual class.
That was a good thing, but they need to make them better. At least on Barbarian, they're kind of mostly garbage.
The generic ones that were slightly overperforming. Of course, even on a class-by-class basis, we saw some, like the Druid, were doing extremely well. There was a number
and
of
some,
issues
like
with
the Barbarian, which was doing extremely
one of the
bad.
great reasons that we have PTR is so that we can test them and get ahead of
And
them.
it barely got
before
any
they go
buff.
live and kind of ruin the actual season launch with being, either bugged or ridiculously overpowered, like some of their effects were. So we brought some of those down on Druid to bring them back a little closer to the pack. But on the other side, we had some classes like Rogue that really felt like they were being left behind just raw numerically. There's so many different combinations of these perks and Chaos Armor that it's sometimes a little difficult to predict where everything is going to land. And Rogue landed a little bit lower than the average. So we've done a pass kind of across the board for some numeric buffs to Rogue, as well as some light design tweaks on some of their Chaos perks to hopefully bring them back up to the pack and be more competitive across other classes.
Yeah, I know PTR is always super helpful for us because it allows us to find these like really.
You're gonna be left behind, boys.
Classes really kind of.
You're gonna be left behind. You're gonna be the worst class.
Druid most definitely went out of bounds by quite a few pit tiers compared to other classes. So most definitely being brought back with the rest of the group, and of course Rogue also getting buffed up as well, which is great to see. So yeah, great feedback from players during PTR. Always important for people to jump in during PTR. We also have some additional stuff that we're going to talk about that has been really covered off, which is some armor related pieces. Aislinn, do you want to talk a little bit more about some of this new armor?
Yeah. So we've seen that everyone's really excited about Chaos Armor, and that is wonderful to see. And we got a ton of feedback about different items that people would like to see as Chaos Armor. And so we kind of collated all of that and thought about it, and we were like, well, here's like one class that we would love to add a piece of Chaos Armor to, another one, and then we were like, well, let's just add another one to each class. So we've added one more piece of Chaos Armor for each different class, and we just wanted to talk through it really quick about our choices and a little bit about what makes them special and cool. So Barbarian's going to be getting
let's go.
Opus. It's a one-handed sword. It's kind of a more generic. It fits into a lot of different builds. It's kind of focused on Big Fury, which is cool because if you get it as Chaos Armor, you can kind of slot it into a bunch of different stuff, which is super fun. Druid's getting Dolmen Stone, which causes your boulders to spin around you, orbit around you, so you're going to be able to do some fun Chaos Armory stuff with that. Necromancer's getting Mutilator Plate as Chaos Armor, and that involves Blood Lance, so Blood Lance is going to be quite glorious in Season 10 if you can find yourself a Mutilator Plate on your boots or whatnot. And then Rogue is going to be getting the Scoundrel's Kiss, and that's one that causes your rapid fire to lob. And it's a ring, so it's nice to be able to move that to your armor slot and make your rapid fire.
From
stronger.
Aladdin, again, it will depend if it works properly or not, but if it works properly,
again, kind of a more generic one,
it's going to be
and you're going to be
interesting.
able to move it off your boot slot, so you might be able to put something else in your boot slot. Which is
sadly, it doesn't work
and then Spirit Born is
properly
getting Sunbird's
with
Gorget,
some
I
of the
believe,
seasonal
is
powers.
the, item.
Don't
And
the
that
cows
one
bark?
is about like firestorm feathers, and it's also an amulet. So moving it off of your amulet slot's insanely good because it retains the resist all bonus that amulets inherently get. But then you get to put it on another piece of armor, which is like amazing. So that one's going to be super solid too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm looking
I
forward to
just
seeing
started.
like, all
God
the
damn it,
additional
dude.
build possibilities now because we're adding additional.
I hate that we cannot
chaos
disable
armor,
those.
So it's going to be really cool to see beyond what people did during PTR and what they got to experiment with. So awesome to see some changes there. And probably the biggest point of feedback that we've gotten throughout last season was most definitely around boss immunity phases. And Ben, do you want to talk a little bit about some changes that are coming related to that? And we also got, like, because some people experienced a little bit of that in PTR, but then they gave us more feedback based off of stuff that was coming in Season 10. So do you want to give a quick update?
Yeah, so definitely had a ton of positive feedback on the boss immunity phase changes that we put into the PTR and that are being carried forward into Season 10.
This
if you're
was
not familiar
big.
with what that is, basically we took the immunity phases from the layer bosses, and anytime they would have an immunity phase, we've replaced that with a shield that can take damage, that can be blasted down.
Blast the fuck,
so if you're
guys.
powerful enough, you can still, just nuke the boss and continue on your
If
way.
Diablo,
and out,
like
but
if
still,
Blizzard does, like if
provides,
Blizzard
like,
does
a
something
meaningful,
good,
significant challenge
it's learning
for
from
less
other
powerful,
games.
characters.
They're
The
really
thing
good
that
at
we did
that.
change coming out of PTR is we updated the Bartok fight at the end of Infernal Hordes to use the same style of shielding to make bring that fight in line with our other layer bosses.
Yeah, I think people saw some of the changes come with the other layer bosses in the PTR, and then Bartok was there, and then they're like, wait a minute, this one still has the old immunity phases.
Yeah.
PTR. Wait, some of these changes happen on, as we're implementing and everything, and so it was good for us to be able to hear what players,
This is great.
their reactions to it, and how they actually, really appreciated that. Hey, if you're a blaster, you can just blast through the shields, and we know we have a ton of those within Diablo, and so now you won't be stuck behind a lot of these immunity phases that you had before with the layer bosses, while still having that little bit of an edge, that like elevation you have to gain to get blast through the actual shield. So a lot of quality of life stuff. There's actually going to be patch notes available immediately after the stream. We know we had the blog that came out about an hour and a half ago or so on Diablo4.com. That will be updated to include patch notes immediately after the stream, so you guys can actually check out all the changes, plus more things that we haven't actually covered off on this specific stream, so that, you can do all your theory crafting and everything, because this time you've got a week.
Yeah.
A week.
Yeah, we got a week
A
now.
whole week before we release like notes usually on Thursdays before.
Yeah.
So now.
And now
the
we're
whole
going to be
week
able to
actually
one-shot
carry
everything,
which is cool
assuming
to
you have the
see.
damage, which is cool.
We do want to take some questions from Twitch chat. I'm also going to address this. We always get people that ask, like, hey, how come chat's disabled on other platforms and stuff like that? We only have so many moderators, so this makes it a lot easier for us to like funnel questions in. So if you have questions, jump over to Twitch chat. Happy to answer those. I know those are going to be spooling up here in a second, but we do want to kick off at least one question while we're waiting to grab additional questions from people, specifically around what was the inspiration behind Chaos Armor. We've gotten a lot of feedback since the PTR, since people got to experience it. A lot of comments about like Chaos Armor is a lot of fun. Is this something that we can continue to play going forward?
Sure.
I want to know if they
inspiration
thought
for
about
Chaos
it.
Armor first?
Because if they didn't, you're just going to equip Romuladins and it's not going to work.
A lot of us in the office are fans of card games. And what you do in card gaming is you typically build a deck from a bunch of different cards. And I've been a card game fan for a long time, and I've been an ARPG fan and a Diablo fan for a long time. And when I'm building my character in an ARPG or a Diablo, I kind of think about it in the same lens. Like every item is like a different modular piece in something that you're constructing, right? And when you can turn those modular pieces into more randomly emergent things that you didn't expect, where like a unique item existed in a very specific state, but then it can randomly exist in a different state. It kind of creates so many different permutations and combinatorics and possibilities. And we also got to like use all of these amazing unique items that we already had to do that. And so, you know, when we put those pieces together and we thought about it from the sense of like, we can take these things we already have and we can randomize them, kind of jumble them up, and it just creates this like whole new world of possibilities with all these cool new things. That really, we saw that and we were like, this is going to be cool. Like, we want to try this out and see where it goes. And so, yeah, I would say it came from that love of like the combinatorics of card gaming.
Nice.
Yeah, I think one thing that we really heard internally a lot, or like from the feedback from you, the players, was about kind of some seasonal powers feeling a bit like additive, where you just kind of slapped it on top of your build, and wasn't really changing how you build your deck, right?
Yeah,
in that,
exactly.
to use that analogy. And so, you know, we heard that a lot around some of the previous seasons, and so this is kind of our response to it, to say, well, let's make a seasonal
definitely
power
good at
structure
jumbling
that
stuff.
really just recontextualizes everything and just really shuffles the deck up, right? And changes how you play. And so that's where, you know, Chaos Perks, the design kind of came in, as well as Chaos Armor to really be about shifting.
I just worry that the Chaos Armors will be a bit confusing for like more casual players.
Here in chat, a lot of them asking like, hey, what happens to Chaos Armor after the season? Is this something that actually ends up like carrying over into next season? Like, I'll always have Chaos Armor. It is a seasonal element specifically. So you know, as you have your Chaos Armor, it essentially will deprecate after the season is over. But I will note, like, when we get feedback from players specifically on seasonal mechanics that are like really great, that they really enjoy, you know, the team takes it to heart. When we look at ways of potentially, you know, maybe it could be something that reappears or comes back in a different flavor or something like that for later on down the line in Diablo 4. We've seen that with other things within our past seasons, that like the Ravens is a great example from our Witchcraft season, where people were like, hey, that element of being able to turn in whispers like that is just awesome. I would love that to be able to stay.
You should have more of them, like in the seasonal. There should be like 3 per zone. That would be cool. There's only like one zone that has 2 of them.
Like, if you guys really enjoy a Chaos
the rest
Armors,
have only
like
one.
Chaos Perks, things like that, let us know. It's always good to know, especially from our side. So good to hear from
that was a long one.
On how they and why they kind of developed the armor. Other questions that we have is Chaos Armor, can you target farm certain Chaos Armors in specific armor slots? It's from Belford95. Is there a way to target farm them specifically?
There is. It's a fairly light touch right now, so you can go to the Gambler, and if you search specifically for a chest armor or whatever, and you just roll through it, eventually you will find a Chaos Armor, and it will be in the chest slot. So you can target farm it that way. Though in general, we did try to keep it much more
not
randomized.
Really.
Like when you go and you fight
really
enemies throughout the game, it's going to be fairly random, and a big part of that is because we were really hoping to create a world where players would like go through and it would feel very emergent. Like you would find an item that you didn't expect in a slot you didn't expect, and now you can kind of create your own build. But yes, you can go to the Gambler and search specifically for it.
Question from Neem5i5 or 515, whatever you want to do. What about the mentioned 10-second invulnerability phase for the Bartok fight? Can you elaborate on that? So I think that, and this was what you were talking about, Ben, which is it was kind of addressed here specifically.
Yep, he just gets a shield now.
Yeah, so he'll have the same type of changes that.
Why are they giving them these questions? So I already answered them
from PTR. So you won't be able to. You won't be able to. I don't think people really wanted to experience like a long immunity phase. So, but you will be able to blast through the shield if you are a blaster and take down bosses a lot quicker. Question from Gosh, I'm so bad with this. P01 Sans Clan. That's a great name. Great name. love to learn the lore about that one. Did anyone find the rarest rainbow goblin who dropped mythics during the event, or was he really a ghost?
It definitely existed.
Yeah.
I don't have
I've
the exact
never
number
seen
in front
one.
of me, but it was not zero. That's for sure.
Not zero.
There was a handful of people who found the rarest of the treasure.
I've never seen anyone
It was
post a
really funny, though.
screenshot
I
of
remember
it.
seeing,
I'm not gonna
like,
lie.
a Reddit post, and it wasn't confirmed that someone actually found the rarest goblin. Like, it was probably that they found the rarest goblin, but it wasn't hard evidence. So you looked at it and you were like, I don't know if you actually found it. I'm not sure I believe you.
Question from the Warrior Poet 80, and curious to know on this one too. Rune drop rates were pretty low last season. Is there any news on potentially changing that or updating?
They were
drop
up on the
rates
PTR.
specifically?
Yeah, so that's something that we want to continue to take a look at. We have, data that we're collating and looking
It was a lot
through.
better on the PTR, by
If
the
we
way.
find, if we continue to get a lot of feedback that that's the case in this
Like under
season,
CT, you always
we
get a
will,
run no matter what
continue to
tribute you
monitor
do.
and
The one that
potentially make
dropped rune
adjustments.
dropped more now as well.
Cool.
So
Daggedy.
you definitely got a
Is
lot
it
more on the
possible to have
PTR.
the same unique effect on multiple Chaos Armors equipped at once?
No.
No, like the same chaos item, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you cannot. We actually were thinking about that in the very early stages of development. And
We just have the
pretty
same
quickly
unique item on
that
all
would be
slots.
absolutely broken, so we probably can't do that.
Yeah, so it's not even that they don't take effect. Like currently, you can equip 2 legendary aspects, and just one of them, the weaker one, gets disabled. For Chaos Armor specifically, if you have Chaos Armor and even the regular unique that it's based off of, they're mutually exclusive. You cannot even equip them. Because they do carry over all of the affixes on the gear, unlike say legendary aspects, right? You just will only be able to have that one copy of that unique equipped to prevent some situations where things get even more out of control and chaotic than they currently are.
Yes.
Kiku Flower asks, what about putting a blacksmith or stash at lair bosses to salvage uniques or putting them into the stash? Have we, it's something I know that players have brought up, but is it something that we're looking at or potentially trying to...
It's good quality of life, but it's also kind of weird.
Around back and forth.
Yeah, so that's actually a conversation we were having about the training grounds of just to kind of talk to something similar. We were talking about should we add even more stuff to the training grounds to make that more convenient? But the thing about the training grounds is that it's intentionally supposed to be as convenient as possible, right? But we
Training grounds is not like the game.
The fantasy in the actual world space, which includes lair bosses. So it's kind of a push-pull there. Again, I think this is one of those things where if that's the way you feel, please let us know. And the more we hear about that, the more it will.
If I'm not mistaken, in the raid, you can get a scroll that spawns up anvil. And you can do blacksmith stuff there. If I'm not mistaken. It would be cool if you could get that elsewhere.
Patch notes
because then you could just kind of use that.
For immunity phase, no mention of shields. Can we clarify this? That might be something wrong with the patch notes or a blog or something. So we'll double check on that. But yeah, there is shield phases now for the lair bosses. Right. So just to clarify, if you're reading something, that might be an our bad, which we'll update on the actual blogs and everything from that end. Ernest Still IO. Will the drop rate for Chaos Armor depend on whether you are already wearing this item, but not as Chaos Armor? So, for instance, if you happen to be wearing one of the regular pieces.
That would be kind of cool, actually.
No,
probably not.
That won't have any influence on it. It's
that would
pure
be cool
chaos,
in a way.
my friends. You go in, you find whatever the Chaos Gods decide you should be blessed with.
Cool. And then. Are there any plans for potentially buffing up Mythics or doing some additional work to Mythics?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Mythics are definitely something that's been on our radar. We haven't made any substantial updates, balance changes to them in a while. Not for this season, not for season launch. We think that a lot of the excitement here and the build crafting opportunities is going to be about Chaos Armor. And in some cases, the really good Chaos Armor pieces are arguably better than some Mythics, depending on the slot, depending on your build. But that being said, for future seasons, it's definitely on our radar that some Mythic uniques are definitely not up to par of some of the other ones. And so we're looking for ways to modify them or update their effect. But that's going to be a future discussion that we'll have, and not for the Season 10 launch here.
Got it. Also, I got clarification on the Riker thing. Apparently, there is details in the patch notes. The blog is just very brief. Thank you, Marcus, who is literally live typing to me as he relays information. So that's the reason why there's probably a little bit of confusion. I know this is probably like the big final question that we'll take here for today, which is related to future changes in regards to some of the things that we talked about before, specifically around masterworking and tempering. And one thing that it's something that everyone's been talking about, we've been hearing for many seasons, something that we've addressed that we plan on actually making some changes for. Season 10 is a awesome season. It's going to be a long season through until we get to our next one. But I will say, of course, we always have PTRs, and we talked about how PTRs are incredibly important. The Season 11 PTR is going to be very important for people to jump into and actually test out specific things, because we are planning on making some big changes in regards to masterworking and tempering in that season.
All right.
So we do want people to actually check that out. We'll have more information as we get closer to the PTR specifically, but I know it's something that like Aislinn, you have been like really
interesting
on. It was a topic that you had been talking about for many months. So
that's really good.
But yeah, Season 11 PTR is going to be really important for everyone to get that feedback. So make sure to jump in during that moment as you're playing through Season 10.
Right now, breaking is not so much of an issue, but like masterworking something to 3 out of 3.
Just the general stretch of Season 10 and all the things happening with
like carpal tunnel inducing kind of deal, right?
Cool.
Really
bad.
bad.
Opportunity for people to check out some of the bigger like system changes that we're planning on doing for Diablo 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our wrap up for our stream right here. We had a new format here. We are absolutely open to feedback. We wanted to lay out all the information about the season in the beginning of the show really cleanly, so that people can hear all the details and everything. Do you want to do a quick reminder that the season actually starts next Tuesday, which is September 23rd. So make sure to jump in for Season 10. It's going to be a ton of fun. Infernal Chaos, lots of Chaos Armor that you can grab. More Chaos Armor now, as we just talked about here, that you can actually end up grabbing. Likewise, there's some really cool reliquary rewards for this season. The team is really amped up on like the quality and like the coolness of the actual items.
Just check. How is it doing?
Labrador,
it's doing better than last time.
It's so cool. It's like
all right, those look cool as hell.
But I think the other thing that's also really cool, and this is
the dog
for D4
it looks so good.
We have some new wings that will be coming.
The armor looks cool.
And these are actually reactive wings as well.
Oh my god!
Which is really sick.
That looks good, dude.
The reactive portion of it will actually trigger if
that's so good.
I think it's like kill streak of 20 or 25, somewhere around there. So it's actually really sick.
That's sick.
Make sure to check out the reliquary rewards. These are actually really awesome. And then separately, there is also a new pet that is part of the season journey. And that will be part of Chapter 6. We made those changes a couple seasons ago, so it's much more friendly for people to actually be able to obtain that big chase item, which is Pandora.
Dude, I need this. I need this so freaking bad, dude.
Coming up its legs and stuff
I need it so much. I love
Pandora
it.
will be part of the season journey.
So oh god, it's so good.
Really cool. And
I freaking need her. I need Pandora.
We have a cool infographic.
I need it.
We have a cool like full-on display of everything that is coming with the season of Infernal Chaos, so you guys can actually get a quick grab of seeing all the big changes that are coming. So it'll be really cool to see. September 23rd, people will be able to jump in, and of course, immediately after this stream, you can jump in and check out our patch notes on Diablo4.com.
So theory crafting.
Build
crafting.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I had a bunch
whole
of
week
content
to do
creators
my
ping me about it.
job.
I'm like, wow, we have a whole week. Like I don't have to crunch over the weekend for things. And I was like, yeah, you get 2 extra days. So it will be great
2
to
extra
see.
days, it's actually
and then one
big.
other big thing that I will remind people on is Twitch drops are going on right now, and they will go on for at least a couple more hours.
Yeah,
So
you
if
get
you are
Fox in
watching
the
anyone
first
who's on the
or
Diablo 4
second day.
category, you can most definitely still earn the bow. And we will have Twitch drops at the start of the season as well. You're going to earn a pole arm. The pole arm is actually it's showcased on the blog. It looks absolutely sick. And you just have to watch Diablo 4 streams. Anyone who's streaming through the start of season 10.
They still haven't
So it'll
talked
be
about
really cool to
the
see.
collab they're gonna do though.
I think I've said cool to see a million times in the last like 2 minutes. So
Yeah, it's been really
maybe
cool to see.
it's been really cool to see you guys. Cool to see. I'm rusty. I haven't been doing this for a little bit. So,
They haven't talked about the
huge thanks
collab.
to Ben, Aislinn, and Charles for jumping on and talking a little bit about season 10. Can't wait to see everyone.
Are they
jump
not
in.
gonna give us anything about the collab?
And from everyone here.
Last
on
one was
Team 3,
sick.
Team Diablo.
The event was kind of meh, but the
Thank
skins
you,
were
and we'll see
sick.
you guys in the season of Infernal Chaos.
Chaos. Thank you.
All right. Get this. Okay. Do we have the? Not yet. No. I can leave the music, I guess. They said it's gonna be here, right? So we just need to keep updating. Eventually, it's gonna come, surely. Dude, I just realized I don't think YouTube had the stream sound. Well, weird champ. Actually, they might, because I'm doing I'm using the Streamlabs now, so the setting should be the default to have the sound. Hopefully, they had the sound. Where are my patch now? They might. Maybe they're just down here already. No, not yet. They should be down here. Alright. Oh, they didn't rate anyone. Alright. Normally they do rate someone. Maybe they just forgot. Alright. So where the hell are my patch notes then? Kinda weird, chum. Let me see. Let me gather some background music here. There we go. Taking a while to update, huh? Let me actually look at... so this is the pole arm. That looks kind of sick, actually. This is not max resolution for some reason. What was the other thing they said it was gonna show on the big... Where's the big picture, actually? They had a picture with, like, all the things that were coming. There we go. This here are the rewards. Look at the back. Look at her. I'm really excited to get her. I want to see what they did on the chaos. On the hordes, I mean, because like the hordes on the PTR felt kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie, they felt worse than the previous ones, which is kind of like, for example, the dungeons they did last season. They were not as good as we were expecting, but they were better. the hordes were not really better, you know? At least they didn't feel better in the PTR. Did this armor look sick? This one as well. I'm excited to use it. But yeah, they didn't talk about the collab. They had the collab for Season 8, which was Berserk, which was like really great, like, anime they chose to collab with. It was basically like custom made to collab with Diablo 4. Actually, Diablo 4 was custom made to collab with it because Berserk came out earlier, but whatever, right? I'm like, that set a high expectation on the choice. The event itself was kind of meh. It was kind of bad. The skins were great. The event, but like the thing the IP they decided to collab with was one of the best choices they could have made. Did they lie to us? Let me actually... I think they lied to us. Yep, they lied to us. It's not on the thing, it's here. Alright, found it. Probably gonna be more mid-season, I guess, but I'm surprised it didn't, like, tease anything, you know? Okay, this is everything we knew. Oh, it's now affected by cooldown reduction. This is new. Oh, this is only changes from the PTR. Alright. Players progress through Torment Tiers, granting more Chaos Armors. Ooh, so we're gonna be able to get multiple Chaos Armors at Torment 4. That's cool. They're an additional drop instead of replacing an unique. That's lovely as well. Alright. And we got the Rameladins we talked about earlier. So this thing gives you a bunch of attack speed and resource cost reduction. The cooldown is increased from 10 to 15, but it's not affected by cooldown reduction. So if you happen to have 75 cooldown reduction, it's only, what? 3 point something seconds, 3.75 seconds or something like that. And it lasts for 5 seconds. So you can have it 100% uptime on it easily, if you actually invest into Shaco and stuff like that. Brown Overbrains, this is just a buff. It was already a decent choice if your build could overpower. I'm gonna have to pull up alternative alterations. What did this do? Like, I don't know out of the top of my head what things do, right? Alternative alterations. Is that a class specific one? No, it's here. Casting a core skill, I'm assuming, empowers your next not channeled, refunding and dealing increased damage. Oh, that's... Wait, what? That's not what it says here. So it got a further buff than... Alright. Cows Unravel, it now the cows burst do a bit more damage. This is whatever, doesn't matter too much. Okay, this here. This is what I was talking about. They showed this earlier. This is not a buff. I mean, it is a buff, technically speaking. But losing two two-handed worth of stat, two two-handed weapons worth of stat and aspect is not worth it. Damage-wise, it's not worth it to lose even one of those, even losing the aspects or the stat. And survivability-wise, the 125% HP is not worth it. The only thing, like the overpower chance could have been really strong if overpower damage was as OP as it was before. It's not, it got nerfed last season, right? So it's not that big of a deal. And here, this damage is not enough. The only thing I can see maybe working is bleed builds. And even then, that's gonna be kind of a stretch. This is just a massive bait. Like, don't use this. Unless this number starts getting towards, like, close to 1000, don't use it. Unless you're a blade build, and even then, probably not good enough. Deafening Chorus. Oh, they're buffing this. This is already kind of strong. Alright, that's good. Increase effect for the shouts. I mean, I don't really know much about the Druid, so, and anything else. We got the Barbarian stuff, that's what matters, right? All classes, casting Tempering. Casting out restores resource. Reduced from, okay. They really crack down on the resource thing. Buff now lasts 15 seconds instead of 10 on the Walking Arsenal. That's kind of whatever. If you're playing a build that could maintain it, you could already kind of do it in 10 seconds most of the time. This will make it slightly better for leveling. For leveling, Walking Arsenal might actually be our best choice, leveling-wise. It's actually not that bad for leveling. Later on, it's not necessarily that it's not strong, it is strong. But having to use 3 offensive skills is not something we do quite often. So, you know, we'll see. Legendary aspect, match from Steel Grasp, now again multiple damage. Previous, oh okay, this is getting changed. Steel Grasp, now again multiple damage instead of cooldown from prolonged reduction, and their damage increased by another 25%. Additionally, oh, this was a massive nerf. I mean, good, because this is wild. You already get this, and then this on top of it, it's wild. This aspect was just busted. Like, power creep, goddamn, right? Sabrev Tazgahal got a slight nerf. I mean, fair enough. This is really strong for core skills. Especially core skills, right? You got core ranks, you got warpath ranks, you got strength. And then on top of all of that, the really great passive. Like, as long as you're using like 2 skills, 2 offensive skills, it was already good enough. So, you know, understandable. Hellhammer got buffed. Good. Probably not good enough for that. Fury Drain now caps. Okay, that's a big buff actually. Basically, if you once you get to like, because like if you get Starless and stuff, this is gonna be especially great since now we're gonna be running Lucians, right? Which is gonna drain a lot of your resource. This just means you cannot drain more than 40 per second. It's probably gonna be a bit more because Lucian increases it, but still. This is great. You're gonna be able to self-sustain easily. You're not gonna have those awkward moments that you sometimes run out of Fury. So that's gonna be cool. That's Cal. What did they change? When you gain Berserking while already Berserk, you became more in range, granting increased damage. What's the difference? Oh, it no longer has a chance and it got buffed. Okay, this is actually pretty good now. It's no longer a chance, which is great. That was not the biggest problem, but now the damage is quite good, actually. Alright. It's not gonna be better than, like, the other alternatives. But I'm not meant to get it early on, that's for sure. Okay, Paragon Brash Node. Damage reduction versus close enemy change to damage reduction versus elite. That's fine, I guess. It doesn't matter too much. Yeah, let's skip everything else. Because I don't know about the other classes. I only play Barbarian. Alright. I'll have to see what the other guys say about their classes. Okay, Cow's Wave. Let's talk about this then. Reduce the chance of Heather to spawn on kill while holding a reliquary. Cow's Wave. Now I have different rarities. For example, other goblins will be more rare. No! No longer drops the reliquary if they are immune when Chaos Lightning impact them. Okay, good. Chaos Wave Infernal reduces from 345 to 1122. Alright. More unpredictable waves than did before. The description when choosing also mentions that additional ether can be earned. Good. The spiritual chaos waves ghost, no, to play colliding with them. Build. Chaos rifts inside of Atlantic Siege. Okay. Yeah, this felt super unrewarding, so that's good. What? This is gonna be insane. You're just gonna keep getting Chaos Rifts. Potentially. I don't know if this is still affected by the 10% chance or whatever it was. Alright, Ether Mask got massively buffed. Ether Fins. Oh. This is wild, because Fins were already kinda good. Ether Goblins got a small nerf, whatever. Soul Spires got the 5 times buff. Alright. Cool. Ethering Masses. They allow chance to spawn their respective other events up from 30. Good. Masses now drop. I'm actually glad they're giving us numbers here, because before we were you have a chance and you don't know what that chance is. Now we actually have some numbers. That's cool. From Elish Massing Offering, as the bonds from other masses now scale with their additional Hellborn spawn offerings. They didn't. Wow. Okay. Okay, what did they do with Soul Spires though? That's the big question. Soul Spires have been lacking category since Infernal Hordes as launched. More than lucrative options for a successful run. Yeah, let's see. Can now appear at the maximum of 2 times, up from 1. Running getting increased. Okay. Precious Treasure and Coveted Spires. What's this? Maybe because the base adder was increased. Previous treasure and coveted rarity changed from normal okay. Corrupting Spires were named to Angry Spires and reworked. The curse now pulls both players and enemies from outside to the inside of the area. That's for enemies too. Yeah, but this probably does not work if you have Unstoppable, which kinda sucks in a way. It makes sense it doesn't work if you have Unstoppable, but it kinda sucks in a way because you kinda wanna get pulled. Transitive Spires has been named to Rising Spires. It now causes the Soul Spire to spawn at the start of each wave and empowers enemies inside Soul Spires. I don't know. This could be cool depending on how it actually works in-game. We'll see. Colossal Fins now properly multiply the Ether gained from Ether Fins. Oh. When they transform to other lords, they didn't before. That's a bug. When both the Colossal Fins and the Finished Legion's offerings are active at the same time, it will now correctly cause other Fins that replace elites to spawn instead of other... Oh yeah, I noticed this. I noticed this in the PTR that this was not working together. That's cool. Fight destruction from Other Lord offerings is now subdued and will properly despawn when the Other Lord is defeated. Cool. Summon Hellborn is now legendary from common. Ew. Ooh. Wait, which one is this? I think this is kind of bad, right? I can't remember what the ambush was. This is the one that they are summoned. This is probably the random one, right? Makes sense, because this is really good, but still kind of sucks that you can't get it often enough now. Rate increase from normal to rare, whatever. Summon Hellborn now only has a 20% chance to spawn. Oh. It got the massive nerf. Not only is it rarer, but it also got the massive nerf. Ooh. Okay, good. Butcher got buffed instead of the Infernal Hordes. Like, it was just it was just free 75 Ether, basically, so that's good. Becomes invulnerable with the shield mechanics. Good. Exalted Horde is now a rare Infernal Offering, increased from common. No! We're losing... I don't know if I like this. We're losing all the good ones. All the good ones are becoming rare. This got the buff. Good. El Wrath, Ether gain per wave. Good as well. Increased from common to rare. Whatever. Ooh, it now drops more. It's harder to kill, but it drops more. Good. Chance for other goblins to spawn from an event. Be other goblin offering was buffed. Good. Before I'm not even sure if it was 10%. I'm not gonna lie. I took this offering like 2 or 3 times, and basically the whole thing, the whole time I only got like 2 or 3 per run. So yeah. Descriptions for boons and banes are now far more descriptive and provide exact numbers. Oh! Yes, dude. Again, like I said before, you just had a chance. You didn't know what the chance was. The chance could be like 0.1. Technically, you have a chance. But, you know. Now you actually know what you're getting. That's good. Champion monsters will no longer spawn infernal hordes. Not sure what this is referring to. Offerings are now weighed differently and should be less predictable. I'm not sure what this is about. Burning Butcher Infernal Horde now has more health. Okay, we got that. This is a repeat. Where Mythic Chaos Rift did not always reward the Mythic item. Yeah, I noticed that. Forgotten Souls. Oh, really? Yeah, Shaprock Split would not properly reset cooldown core skills when you combine strike. Fix an issue where Rowling Cry and Challenging Shot receive an incorrect amount of bonus from Deafening Chorus. Alright guys, if this... Okay, what was happening on the PTR is that the Chaos... The Deafening Chaos Chorus Chaos perk was not... It was multiplying the Challenging Shout by the base amount. It was only multiplying the base amount. Anything you got with ranks, it did not account for. Which was good, because if it didn't do that, you could become immortal. If this is what they fixed, we might have an immortal barb in the PTR. I'm gonna try to get this to them to double check that this is not gonna make us immortal. Because as much as I enjoy it, and it would be funny as hell, it would be broken as hell too. Yeah, we'll see. Let me actually print screen this. Fix an issue where basic skills with unstable power did not trigger. Oh yeah, did they change this to scale with cooldown as well? We'll check that in a second. Yeah, trigger the chaotic cooldowns. Fix various other issues where Chaosamic Sparks did not function as intended in various contexts. Good. For free if they are. Then I don't think there's anything here. Initial wave could be missing. Yeah, whatever. This an issue where Ugly Bass would no longer convert damage to fire if weapon swap occurs. That's not exactly what was happening. Fix an issue where the rank 5 bonus of Calidantius Wrath 5 Berserker didn't benefit from... Oh. Cool. I don't know if it triggers it now or if it just gets buffed. Ancestral items could drop without return. Oh yeah, that was a bit weird. Whatever, I don't know what that is. Baron's Wrath Berserker didn't appear. Yeah, this was a... You didn't have the cooldown, I think, was the bug. Could grant more passive ranks than intended. Yeah, that was a thing as well. Interesting. I think this was already on the PTR, but yeah, Locrans is capped at 500. This is just to nerf the Sorks. Doesn't matter. Same here. This is just to nerf the Sorks, because they could stack a bunch with their Chaos powers. Sabre got nerfed, right? We saw this above. Oh, the nerf. Oh yeah, the nerf is reflected here. It was just a small nerf, it doesn't matter. This is just too big, like. Look, these stats are insane for a weapon. These stats are incredible. Balance updates. Expertise. Oh, damn, we're getting a lot. Remove the requirement to kill an enemy to get increased bleed damage. That's good. Not sure if it's gonna be used, but that's good. I think this is already in the PTR, right? Increase the range, now reduce the cooldown abilities, yes. Unconstrained. This is PTR changes. Yeah, this is all PTR changes. Battle Mad got buffed. This is Omega Big. Ancestral Force as well. This was the I believe this is the auto one, right? Wanton Rapture got double Dust Devil's damage. This is just to counteract the nerf they did. Yeah, this is everything that was in the PTR. This is the added change. Paragon Flower Stick. Yeah, this is the changes from PTR. I guess we're just looking for blue. Blue are the changes. Well, what are we talking about here? This is not. They're about updates. This is the vulnerability stuff. To the last 5 seconds. Yeah. Loot rewards. Overall chance for unique items to drop has been increased across all difficulty levels. Ooh. And now if you drop a chaos unique, it doesn't replace the unique you drop. That's good. Won't drop magic or rare items, whatever. Reward quality and health that has been increased into. Okay, this is great as well. This is gonna be great. Because right now they don't really scale that well into like higher tiers, right? The amount of gear you get, or the quality of gear, I guess. So this is gonna be great. Specific gem fragments, quantitative items drop from boxes, can now reward artificial stones. Cool. And gold chests no longer suffer diminishing returns. Oh yeah, this is what we saw in the PTR. Yeah, this is PTR stuff already. Okay, they nerfed us a bit. Battle Trance was just proccing this way too much. It actually had more like a chance than it was displayed, but that's fine. Okay, good. Damn, Necromancer got a bunch of fixes. Where the Hydra enchantment... Okay, whatever. Just browsing to see if there's anything related to... Barbarian, don't think so. Sure, some teams could get... whatever. Don't care. Rare might could drop in Torment. Yeah, that's what they talked about. Let me just look for Unstable Power though. Okay, they didn't... Okay, Unstable Power, if I'm not mistaken, is the thing that scales... Yeah, your basic skills. If you can't scale this with cooldown, I'm not sure to what degree you're actually gonna run it. It's incredibly strong if you can run it. I'm just not sure if you can run it. Because having to reduce 3 seconds, even with Rage of Argas, is gonna be tough. Possible, but tough. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. We'll see if you're gonna be immortal. I'm gonna talk to some pips, because we're gonna have to see if you're gonna be immortal or not. That's gonna be wild, but yeah. Thanks for coming, guys. This was gonna be a short stream. I just wanted to check the stream and patch notes with you guys. And yeah. See you guys. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream until the season starts. If not, see you guys at season start. Otherwise, see you next time. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. I'm waving. You can see I'm waving, alright? Bye-bye.